Welcome back to the Game Time Trade Deadline Special. And as a final thought, we want to get some of the winners and losers, according to the people who cover the NBA for us. And to do that, let's start with Sean Powell from NBA.com in Orlando, where the big news came down. Sean.
Well, clearly, my winner in this situation is Alex Martins. He started out with the organization as the PR guy. 3DZ, you remember him,
yes,
right?
I do. That's my guy, Alex.
And Alex was here, you know, when they lost Shaq, and then Alex went to the Cleveland Browns, and he came back to Orlando. And here's what he's done in the last year. First of all, he helped put up this brand new building that I'm standing in that held the All-Star game.
Right.
And then just after getting the CEO job, he took it upon himself to be the point guy in the Dwight Howard talks. So he's talking with Dwight every day, and lo and behold, Dwight's going to be here for another year. So Alex has bought himself some time. It's been a great year for Alex. Clearly a winner in this situation. As far as a loser, the New Jersey Nets, but they're used to losing.
Speaking of which, Sean, speaking of which, we want to head to New Jersey now. And here's the rebuttal from John Schumann of NBA.com. Winners and losers. Are you in Loserville right now? That's what Sean Powell says, John.
Yeah, I would have to put the Nets in the loser category. I don't necessarily subscribe to the theory that Deron Williams is definitely leaving for Dallas this summer. But obviously, without Dwight Howard, the Nets aren't able to make the impact they had hoped when they moved to Brooklyn. As far as my winner, I'm going to say the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, this is a team that has really struggled offensively this year, and I think a point guard like Ramon Sessions is somebody who can sort of loosen up that offense and get things going, a little bit like Jeremy Lin did with the Knicks when they were in such need of a new point guard.
All right, John Schumann. And how about the Houston Rockets? How much did they help themselves? Winners and losers there. Let's go to Fran Blindberry, and he is at Toyota Center.
Well, I hate to jump on John there, but I got to put the Nets in as the losers in the last couple of weeks. Mikhail Prokhorov has lost the presidency of Russia and Dwight Howard. That's a tough daily double to take. My winner is going to be with the team that we didn't expect, I don't think, to make a big move today, and that's the San Antonio Spurs. And I'm with you, DA. Getting Steven Jackson back to town is a big, big plus for Greg Popovich and for this team. They finally unburdened themselves of the anchor that was Richard Jefferson, but I think positively they need Jackson out there to be a wing scorer, to be a defender. I think it's a big plus for a team that's got a legitimate chance in the West.
Never, ever underestimate Pop and the San Antonio Spurs. Fran, thank you very much. And now up to Chicago and Steve Ashburner, stationed there. Detective Ash, winner and loser today.
Well, you know, for losers, I would say the Minnesota Timberwolves not doing a deal today. A little bit of an aftershock from the Ricky Rubio setback last Friday. I think the enthusiasm there has taken a hit, and they're going to stand pat. They have to sort of batten down the hatches, but this was not what they hoped for this spring. They'll do what they can, but no personnel injection. Winners, the deadline. Milwaukee got to its spot and did its work early. And I think the Milwaukee Bucks, in adding Monte Ellis and also Udoh, very valuable players, and gave up two non-players as far as they're concerned. Andrew Bogut hurt and Steven Jackson not in good favor. So I think Milwaukee really helped itself, and it was 2 days ago.
Milwaukee, a real wild card now, down at the bottom of the East. Thank you, Ash. And now we want to send you out to Los Angeles. Cheryl Miller and Scott Howard Cooper. The Lakers, always a very sexy story. Winners and losers there.
I'll let Scott go first.
Well, I think there's no question the winner is the Orlando Magic, the winner of the day, the winner of perhaps of the entire season. By holding on to Dwight for at least one more season, that's a huge victory. Loss, I agree with Steve Ashburner. It's the Minnesota Timberwolves. We can also tell you that not only were they hoping to replace Ricky Rubio to get some point guard help, they had a deal in place with the Los Angeles Lakers to get Derek Fisher to Minneapolis. It came very close to happening. Michael Beasley would have ended up here in Los Angeles, a 3-team trade with the Timberwolves. That fell through.
Portland, because Jamal Crawford would have gone to Minnesota as well.
And then the Lakers ended up doing the Rockets deal.
Wow. If you're a Laker fan, you are not very happy right now. But look, Derek Fisher, I think the handwriting was on the wall. He feels that he could play another 2 or 3 years, and you know what? There wasn't going to be the minutes here for him, as far in the point guard position.
Well, nothing ever ends well. That's how I feel. Thank you, Scott Howard Cooper and Cheryl Miller. And now right here in the studio, Sekou Smith, he of the Hang Time blog. Your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, I think there's no question that the Orlando Magic won big today by keeping Dwight Howard around for another year. No matter how crazy the last 48 hours have been, trying to figure out was he staying or going, I think ultimately that's the biggest chip that was played today was Dwight Howard sticking around. Biggest loser, I know everybody's talking about, what great things have gone on in Houston, but I'm still kind of curious. You swung and missed at Pau Gasol. You've been talking about it since training camp. There's no big man to anchor that team still, and Kyle Lowry's injured. So, I'm curious. I'm not sure what I see going on in Houston right now.
All right, not necessarily buying in Houston, not necessarily buying there. 3D, some winners and losers from you.
Well, the obvious is the Magic. The Lakers, I like Ramon Sessions a lot, but I think Indiana's move with Barbosa is a big-time move as well, having that extra point guard that can change the pace. And we know with Miami, if you can beat them, it's been the teams have had good point guards that cause trouble. So that's a big-time move for Indiana. And losers, the Nets is the obvious, but Denver, I think, a little bit too. JaVale McGee, we love the talent, but he's still not a guy I want to throw the ball down low to. So now I think George Karl goes back to being a perimeter team, and Gallinari and the rest of those guys have to do the bulk of the scoring because there's no more low post presence when it comes to scoring point now.
Yeah, just don't shoot. Just block some shots down there. JaVale, what about you, 3?
Well, look, I've said I think San Antonio had a great day. I think Indiana had a very good day. I think Golden State, at the end of the day, we haven't talked much about Golden State, but assuming Bogut comes back and is healthy at some point, and you've got Richard Jefferson now, and you've freed up minutes for Klay Thompson, which is very important for them. They really like Klay Thompson. I like their starting 5 right now is pretty doggone good. I mean, it's a much more veteran group, I think, with Richard Jefferson in there. You've got some depth. You got a terrific center in Bogut. So they potentially, it may not show this season, but next season and going forward, I think they had a very good year. And again, I think the Wizards did a very important thing today. They had to start getting serious in Washington about winning, or John Wall was going to start looking elsewhere. Now they've got a little bit more serious mien there now. And the biggest winner to me today, Mark Cuban. Because now Mark Cuban knows exactly what he needs to do to get Deron Williams.
Right.
Where he stands and where he has to go.
Let's go back to Golden State real quick. How much does Richard Jefferson have left? Is it physical? Is it mental? Because we haven't seen that RJ when he was with Jason Kidd and Vince Carter.
But they have Durrell right at that position, so it's not a need thing, but they have depth there now at that 3-4 position, which I think is important. That's why I liked it. And obviously, I think New Jersey. I'm not going to say New Jersey is a loser. I'm going to say New Jersey really is on the clock now, and they have got to be ready for the rest of this season and going forward. This period now between now and July 1st is going to be a franchise-defining time period for the New Jersey, soon-to-be Brooklyn Nets. Going into that new building, they better have a plan to surround Deron Williams with, and quickly.
And that plan has to be who? Because the same question we talked about with Dwight Howard, who else is out there when Mark Cuban's going to say, max you out, and I have Dirk?
Yes.
And now New Jersey we have a new arena, but we don't have that other piece that can make Deron Williams smile.
It's a tough call. It's a very tough call. And I don't know what that other piece is right now for them.
Our Game Time trade deadline special rolls on in just a minute. We're going to recap all of the activity here. In our last segment, we'll take a look at some of the trades that took place, and some of the names might surprise you, and see how happy you are about your team. Stay with us.